Hello and welcome to Paper Plays Julie K.
Welcome everyone, and thank you so much for joining me. And today we are on week number 18 of the Margarete Miller Collage Weekly Planner. And again, it looks like this. And every week I have been collaging different layouts using Margarete Miller's prompts that she has each week. She has prompts for some random items and you make a collage out of them. And so I do have a playlist if you are interested in going back and checking out some of my previous ones. Also, I do use hashtags. I use the ones that are in this collage planner, but I also use some other common ones. So you guys can definitely use those hashtags, and I do have them listed in the description box to do a search to see what else everyone else is doing. And I do have a link also to Margarete Miller in case you are interested in participating along. It's never too late. These are just weekly prompts. You don't necessarily have to do them in the planner. You can buy them from her in a digital format or else just the prompts. You don't have to have it in the actual calendar part. But again, my plan is to use this calendar next year as my calendar. So I'm only decorating one side each week. And so this week is kind of a tough one for me, just emotionally tough, just because of the picture that I chose. But her prompt this week is to find a special photo that can serve as the focus of your collage, and then look for additional papers that can enhance what you see in the photo. And for me, when I see that, it's more what reminds me of the person in the photo. And so I did choose this photo of my grandma. She passed away earlier this year, and my cousin had printed off some of these, and I had picked up a couple extra ones of my grandma. And this one's a pretty more recent photo of her, and so that's why I chose this one. And I might end up cutting off the bottom part. I don't know if I'm going to keep her info on here or not. And the other thought I had too is I could just leave it and maybe do some washi tape, and then I could washi tape it, and then I can look at her info that's on the back side, her information about her life. So I might do that with this. I might find some washi tape, and I didn't grab any washi tape. I'm trying to see what I have sitting here. I have a couple sitting on my desk. Yeah, maybe this one would work. This one says Hello Beautiful, so maybe that one would work for this layout. Otherwise, maybe this pink one. But I like this Hello Beautiful one. That one would maybe work to washi tape that. So that would be that. And then I grabbed a couple things that kind of reminded me of my grandma. I have a rubber stamp that says oofda. She said oofda a lot, so I'll probably stamp that on something and add it. My grandma did like birds and wildlife and different things like that. And so I did pull out a couple pictures in my stash that my husband took. My grandma was from North Dakota, and bison are really big in North Dakota. So I thought maybe I could somehow incorporate this picture on here. I don't know if I have to cut it out a little bit. It's a picture my husband took. And my grandma used to always enjoy my husband's photographs. Here's one of his bird pictures. And so I know during the whole COVID and lockdown thing, she was in a nursing home. And so I used to send her some of my husband's old photos just to give her something to receive in the mail. And then at least then she, even though we couldn't go and visit her other than doing window visits outside of her room, the staff would have to go in and read the mail to her. So I used to send her letters and stuff like that with photos. So I did pull those out as a possibility. You know, I pulled just some random scrap paper, you know, like the word love, and this little flower I think is really nice. So I could do those, you know, if this doesn't quite fit. You know, here's a little hummingbird on there. I did have this word that said beautiful, but if I use the Hello Beautiful washi tape, I probably don't need to use that. I found this random scrap piece that I got from someone in Happy Mail, and it says, love you, remembering these special moments with you. So that might also be a good one, maybe to somehow lay up there on the collage. Because I could still make this all fit and then washi tape this down still. So I do like that idea. You know, because I could put this underneath here, possibly. So that would still work, I guess, with those things. Because then I could put this underneath, maybe. If I washi tape that on. I could have that sitting there, maybe when you opened it up, the flower, just remembering her. And I know my grandma used to always give, whenever people would send her flowers, she hated flowers, and that's why I picked this out. She liked flowers outside, but she hated getting actual flowers or plants in her room, because she would much rather have you go and visit than send her flowers. So that's just kind of a funny memory about her, that she'd always say, what am I going to do with a bunch of flowers that die in my room? So that was always just kind of a funny thing with her. So that's why I picked that rose out there. So if I did that, I just, like, again, just random stuff. I don't think I'm going to use that, or this beautiful piece. I don't think I'm going to use any of my husband's photographs, because there just really isn't room on the size of collage. So I'll save those for something else. I still maybe could use a hummingbird yet, or I have this butterfly too. The other things I pulled out, this one had birds on it again. My grandma liked birds. And I could maybe layer that somehow up here. But I don't think I'm going to use that either. I kind of like that, what I have here so far. I just kind of like the simplicity of that. I pulled this one out too, just because it's something my grandma used to always say when we would do small trips. It'd be like, are we there yet? So it was just some random piece of scrapbooking ephemera. But I don't think I'm going to use that. And I still had this piece left over a while ago. We did a collage in here, and I had the graphic 45 paper. And this one just said, the best things are sweet. And so maybe I'll add this in here somehow. I don't know. That one I'm still thinking about. And I had this one that said, believe in yourself, but I don't think I'm going to use that one. I thought about using it just because my grandma always was all about people believing in their abilities and what they could do. So that maybe wouldn't be bad to put there underneath that piece. You can't really see it though until you open it. So maybe I won't use that. So then I guess that leaves me down to the only other item that I pulled out is some frog scrapbooking paper. Again, my grandma loved frogs. She had a frog collection, and I know I kept a couple of her frogs after she passed away, a couple of the little frogs that she had. But I had some scrapbooking paper because I used to buy scrapbooking paper whenever I came across it and made her cards. And as you can see, I obviously used some of the paper on here for something that I made for her. But I have a couple scratch ones left. And so I think I have to add a frog on here somewhere. Or a couple frogs maybe. So maybe if I cut out those two frogs on this little scrap paper, I could put one up here and then one down here in the corner. And then, I mean, I could cut out of this paper too, but I think these two right here will work. So I'll cut those out. And so, I think that's going to be my layout then. So I don't know if I'm going to stamp the word oofda or not on here anywhere. Yeah, maybe I will and just put it underneath the rose when you lift it up. That would be kind of cute. So, so this is what you'll see, I think, is just this part right here. And I'll put the word love wherever it fits after I get this taped down or glued down. So I'll glue this down and I'll just washi tape this so that it flips open. So if I do want to read what this says later, I can. And then you will also see the flower under here. And then I think I will stamp this on a piece of paper that says oofda. So I think that'll work. And I'm going to call that my layout for this week. I just kind of like the simplicity of this one since the focus is my grandma. And then, like I said, I might cut out a couple frogs. So I'll come back and show you what the final layout looks like on this one. So I think I finished my layout for this week. And again, this week's prop was to find a special photo that could serve as the focus of your collage. And then we were supposed to look for additional papers that could enhance what you see in the photo. And again, I chose a photo of my grandma and then items that just reminded me of her that I found in my stash right away when I was going through things. And so, again, here's her photo. And then up here, this scrapbooking piece of paper that said, love you, remembering the special moments with you. And then I used the washi tape that said, hello, beautiful. And I put that kind of on the both sides to hold it down. And then on the inside, and it's still kind of drying, you guys can see I added the word love. And then here's a hummingbird because she liked nature. And then just the little joke about the whenever she received flowers or plants in her room from at the nursing home, just her comments that she made. So I included that. And then when you close it, you can see, again, she had that collection of frogs. So I went ahead and added a frog up there. And then I cut out another frog. And so I put it right there. I kind of played around with putting it on different spots and just decided I didn't like it anywhere. But since I had cut it out, I went ahead and just added it over here on this corner. And then I also forgot, I rubber stamped this that said Ufta. And some of you guys might not know the term. I guess it's a Norwegian term, and it's very common here where we live. There's a lot of like Scandinavian ancestry. And it's just kind of one of those words that you say when you don't know what else to say. You say Ufta. So like if you have a big meal, you'd say Ufta, I'm full, or instead of a swear word, you might use the word Ufta. So, I mean, it can mean pretty much anything is how we use it around here. And so this was a rubber stamp I bought, you know, probably 20 years ago when I first started stamping it. And I have a little like Viking rubber stamp that matches it. But like I said, it was a term that my grandma used quite a bit, Ufta. So, I stamped that just to remind me a little bit of humor, I guess. And so that is my layout for this week. Again, that was week number 18. And so I will continue on again next week with week number 19. And thank you everybody so much for watching this week. I hope you all have a wonderful day and happy crafting.